We have so much lore and backstory for this universe, but for all the characters we're introduced to in all the books, one curious character left out is Ned Stark and his siblings' mother. We get backstory on obscure figures like Tywin's mother, or even Walder Frey's third wife. It wasn't until the supplementary book, The World of Ice and Fire, for her to even get a name, Lyarra Stark. The only thing we know about her is her name, and where she sits in the Stark family tree, and thankfully it's a fairly simple streamlined tree. So this means every single book in the actual A Song of Ice and Fire series went on as if she never existed. After the second book in 1999, Martin came out to answer some fan questions. Someone asked him, who was Ned's mother and what happened to her? Martin answered, Lady Stark, she died. 4 words, that's it. Doesn't seem like a name was even created for her at this point. This obviously wouldn't satisfy the more hardcore fanbase. And 3 years later, in 2002, Martin would take the time to answer a follow-up question. Being 3 books deep by now, the growing audience was getting louder. The question was, speaking about women, there's a hidden figure, Ned's mother. You only say she was Lady Stark and she died. Nothing more? Nothing important or something too important? Please at least choose one hypothesis. His answer, if there is anything important, I will reveal it in due time. Did Tolkien ever get letters asking about Aragorn's mother, I wonder? You can hear the mild annoyance in his voice, but we got more than 4 words this time around. Now, 5 books deep into the series, and no more Q&As on the topic to draw from. It's time to accept there are no clues left behind to pick apart, so speculating is a waste of time. Some, I'm sure, will take this as Martin building suspense for something big, but I think it's just to show not every family member has to be super important. Some are just average people. Lyarra married her first cousin, but it isn't uncommon or taboo in this world. Tywin did the same with Joanna Lannister. The sin of committing incest only involves siblings or parent-child relationships. Everything else is cool with the gods. Her lord husband, Rickard Stark, carried the spotlight for the both of them. Thanks to their maester's advice, Rickard was looking to strengthen the North's relations with the South. For too long, they were isolated from the rest of the other kingdoms. Other than to keep their faith in the old gods strong, there wasn't really a reason why they shouldn't be looking to have alliances with the other great houses. The Starks ruled as Wardens of the North, a very high position held by only 4 houses in the 7 kingdoms. So Rickard looked to his children to change this. Together with Lyarra, they had 4 kids. The eldest, Brandon, then Eddard, Ned for short. Their only daughter, Lyanna, and then finally the youngest, Benjen. Looking at the years of their births, it all happened within 5 years. If Lyarra died due to birthing complications after Benjen, like a lot of noble ladies in the story, it would make sense as to why Ned has never mentioned her in all his POV chapters during the first book. Even if she died a few years later, Ned wasn't around all that much thanks to Rickard. He sent his second-born son to the Vale when he was 8 to be fostered by Lord Jon Arryn, a way of building that alliance up with the Warden of the East. Ned's foster brother would be Robert Baratheon in this castle, and they grew very close. To secure the powerful Baratheon's alliance, Rickard allowed his young daughter Lyanna to marry Robert when she would be of age. Brandon would marry into the Tully family. If Ned spent a large portion of his childhood and teenage years at the Vale, he wouldn't have a lot of memories with his mother. So even if she died of a chill or something years after Benjen's birth, Ned wouldn't have a lot to reminisce about. His fond memories revolve around the simple times being boys with Bobby B. Lyarra definitely wasn't around during the time leading up to Robert's rebellion. This part of the lore, revolving around the tourney at Harrenhal and Lyanna's disappearance with Rhaegar, is extensively detailed by Martin because of how important and relevant it is to the current story. The Starks had the whole realm's attention, with Lyanna and Brandon's antics. Bran is our only hope for some backstory on Lyarra, unless Benjen feels like finally showing up. The She-Wolves of Winterfell is a working title for a short story George Martin has been passively working on over the years. It'll take place a few generations back, but Lyarra wouldn't have been born yet. You can rule this one out. Bran Stark with his green sight is the lore master, and he does have an affinity for checking on Winterfell's past. We got a few flashbacks already thanks to him. Bran doesn't seem too informed on his grandmother Lyarra, but thanks to Old Nan, he is made aware of his great-grandmother, Arya Flint. She belonged to one of the North's mountain clans. Old Nan tells him her blood running through him is why he's so obsessed with climbing. Mountain clans in the North aren't as wild and vicious as the ones in the Vale. They even have some nobles amongst their ranks, like House Flint. Arya Flint, who our Arya is likely named after, married Rodrik Stark to make Lyarra. Rodrik, the Wandering Wolf, is a whole fun topic on his own. Spending his time as a sellsword out east, because of how far from inheritance he was, allowed him some more freedom to do as he wished. In Arya Flint, Roderick, and Lyarra flashback, as short as even a few lines would add a lot to the story, and Martin must feel weird about the name Lyarra not appearing in a single main series book. I think that should change. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see y'all later.